Hello everyone, welcome back to the Silent Corridor. Last time, Monika intervened when the game was glitching and not letting me pick who to side with in the argument between Yuri and Natsuki, which again, I'm very, very curious about Monika because that's the second time she's actually showed up in front of the text. The text always shows up in order so you can read it, and then the person's in the background, and you can, press the right mouse button in order to see the full picture, which is cool. But yeah, twice now Monika has actually showed up in front of the text. And this last time, it was specifically, like, it wasn't, because the text, well, I guess no, the text, never mind. I was going to say that she oriented herself so her face would be there, but no, the selection box was in the middle of the screen, so that's actually okay. But all of that said, it certainly seemed like she was intervening when the game was messing up in this case. That wasn't just a display glitch. That was Monika actually saving the game from a fail state, if that makes sense. Additionally, there's a squabble going on in there, and Monika just, like, walks us out of it, and no one says a word, which, again, doesn't seem super realistic. So I'm very curious where this is going to go. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Oh, apparently they're still yelling. I cannot hear them, because there's no sound right now. I almost feel like I'm in a cone of silence at the moment. Some president I am, right? That is actually a good point, because she's like, oh, they're fighting. Let's just not be involved. Can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I've just never had an enemy to put my foot down against others. Monika, you need to go around and kick people. Kick 10 people before tomorrow. It will help you be a better president. You understand, right? I understand that you have a hard time confronting people. I don't understand, like, I've always been, and granted, this is going to make me sound super egotistical, and I apologize, but whenever you realize and you acknowledge that there's a problem you have and that you want to get better, work on getting better at it. Like, I do not understand this weird mindset of, oh, this is just the way I am, and I can't fix it. I'm like, yes, you can. It's very easy to fix, actually. You just have to try. Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. Oh, wow. Look at her trying to twist that. It's interesting. The first time I played this, Monika seemed to have a very, very low interest in me compared to everyone else. Everyone else was, like, super fascinated with me, and she was just sort of watching. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. For splits, it looks like she's crying. For a split second, I thought she got slapped, but I don't think she did. She quickly runs away. Oh, dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Oh, geez. Yuri's going into one of her psychological relapses. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you know this, but they actually say that people that are, like, schizophrenic and about to have a full break, I shouldn't say about to, but are prone to have a full break, do that rocking thing. It's something kind of very specific to people that are, like, on the verge of a mental collapse. And again, I'm overstating it. It's not like if you see someone rocking, you need to immediately, get them committed to a psych ward. It's one of those things where it's like, everyone who has a mental collapse will do that rocking thing shortly before it happens. But not everyone who does the rocking thing goes to having a mental collapse. If that makes sense. I didn't mean it. I believe you. Everyone believes you, Yuri. It's okay. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Dameol, please don't hate me. I'm sorry, Yuri. This is not your run. I tried to have the run with you last time, and then my best friend killed herself. So you are bad news. But please, I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. That's an interesting... For a split second, I wondered if... Because, again, this is a game that's glitching out. And it would not be difficult for the game to misdiagnose some of... Or, like, if her code also got corrupted, she could be acting in a way that, for her, seems completely illogical. And she doesn't understand why she's doing it. That said, she's not acting significantly different than she did the first time around when her code was completely valid. Oh, it's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. That's very, forward-thinking of you. Completely. Anyway, the meeting's over, so you can go home now if you want. Monika's completely also weirds me out a little bit. Like, just saying I'm sure she'll forget it all is just wishful thinking, but adding the completely, if Natsuki actually does forget it, that's going to be very telling. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monika. Yeah, you can go first, Monika. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. Interesting. Yuri almost seems like she's afraid of Monika. This is something I definitely didn't pick up on in the first playthrough, possibly because it wasn't there. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take care of the... Interesting. I wonder what they're really arguing about, because there's something going on under the scene. Under the scene, we got a lot of clams. Yuri, you can just ask for my number and text me later. That works. Kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that at all. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Dameol. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. Well, I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? Interesting. That actually makes me very, 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 very curious. Because that was the game skipping ahead over a scene that Monika didn't want to happen. That reaffirms what I was just saying about how her phrasing and her actions make it seem like she has a certain amount of control over what happens in the game. So again, we want to get her. Oh, that's why. My mouse just happened to be right there. I was like, why is Despise highlighted? Nothing else is. Like I said, I'm going to get a little bit here so she doesn't hate my poem. Oh, wow. Anger is one of her words. That's really surprising. I would not have thought that she would be super into anger. All right. Well, that's unique. I had to know what that was. What did I get myself into? Was that one of Sayuri's words? I'm going to go ahead and pick ones for her. That's super interesting. I'm really... Huh. I wonder if eventually you'll be able to pick all words that apply to a dead character and just see what that does. Another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I'm a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. In the club room, the usual scene greets me. That's not the usual scene. Welcome back, Dameol. Hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression, but she seems to not have a face. But the weight of yesterday's quarreling hangs in the air a little bit. There she is! Yay! She came back. She glance over her shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki is reading manga at the desk. And surprisingly, Monika isn't here yet. Oh, so now she has the chance to talk to me about what she was going to talk to me about yesterday that may or may not have happened because the game skipped ahead. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room. About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before. Well, you know, a boy you like shows up and you just end up taking everything super extreme. And something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well. Yuri, I'm happy you're considered and apologized, but you don't have to worry too much. And I've only been here a couple of days, I can tell something was off yesterday. This game is just fascinating in that this is a scene that I would be taking at face value the last playthrough, but now I'm just constantly looking for secondary meanings and what's actually happening and what Monika's doing behind the scenes. Because at this point, after what happened yesterday, I'm very, very sure that she is intentionally messing with the code. I don't know how, but somehow she is causing the game to skip ahead, causing people to... And it's actually a little bit... I almost liked it better when a character died, their code got corrupted. That was just the way the game did it. If Monika's doing it herself, that's a little bit disappointing, frankly. I would have preferred it would have been a really interesting outlook on a limited reality game and how it interprets and handles character death. Like, if it was just the way the world worked, I almost think that would be a more interesting approach. But this is still... I'm still very curious about what's happening. Maybe we're all just extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing any poems. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think any less of you or Natsuki. I'd already decided that there's no way either of you could be a bad person. Now you're apologizing. I know you really didn't mean it. Dameol, don't say those kinds of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. Now, granted, this is me going back to George Carlin, but a little too happy almost sounds like a mental condition itself. We had to put her into the mental asylum. She was a little too happy. I'm really glad that you're such an understanding person. And I'm really glad you joined the club. Everything is just a little bit brighter with you around. Yeah, especially when I mess with the brightness settings and everyone gets mad at me. Sorry, what am I saying right now? Hey, have you guys seen Monika? No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was. Man, I'm guessing you haven't either? Yeah, that again, I said this yesterday, but yeah, Natsuki has completely forgotten the incident. Although, interestingly, Yuri hasn't. I don't know why they would erase the memory from Natsuki, but not Yuri. Ooh, actually, that raises an entire other problem now. If we accept that Monika has some sort of weird admin privileges to the world we're in, which again, I do not fully understand how that is possible, but it's a working theory, guys. Calm down for a second. If we accept that she has some sort of admin privileges and she's able to erase memories, skip forward in time, delete people possibly. Again, I'm not sure if that's the game doing that or if that was Monika that did that. But if we accept that she has these kind of capabilities, is it possible that she actually created Yuri and Natsuki? I'm not sure that I would believe that she created Sayuri, only because the character Dameol, is it possible she created me? I would think not, because I definitely have agency in this world. And because I have agency, we have to assume that my memories of Sayuri are valid, and that Sayuri is an actual person. But these two maybe not. And if that's the case, did she intentionally give them tragic back? Did she make Natsuki's father beat her? Did she make Yuri, have almost, criminal depression? Not depression, that's Sayuri. Criminal, whatever she has. Gloominess, edginess. I'm not sure what the actual... Oh, cat, will you please Please go away. Got this cat just wandering around the desk while I'm trying to theorize. Also, now that we say that, is it possible, even if not, or not Natsuki, even if Sayori is a real person, could she have exacerbated her depression and made it worse than it was? Which actually, if that's true, I would actually be a little bit disappointed. I really liked the way they handled Sayori's depression, and it seemed very true to life. So if it was fabricated by Monika, I would be pretty distraught and depressed. I would think that would actually lessen the impact of this game. No, I haven't. Gee, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Natsuki, about yesterday. I wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of the things I said. And I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So... What the heck are you talking about? Yep. I thought that might be the way but again, it's really odd that Monika, or whoever's controlling it, but right now my best guess is Monika, would delete the memory from Natsuki but not Yuri. They would have to assume this would happen if you didn't erase the memory from both. Did you do something yesterday? Jeez. Where's your mind? I'm sure it was nothing. I didn't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? But... Well, accept your apology anyway if it'll make you feel better about whatever happened. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear since I was afraid you secretly hated me or something like that. Cat, stop walking in front of the screen. No, not at all. I don't hate you. Well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either. Natsuki turns to me. You're still on trial, though. God damn it. I know I've said this before. Natsuki's personality is the one I like the best in this game. I like Yuri's intelligence is what drew me to her originally, but she's just so samey, I guess. Like, her response to everything is kind of the same. She is, despite the fact that she is malnourished and has no food and is constantly overwhelmed by hunger, she has a very sarcastic and witty personality that I could really appreciate. Suddenly, the door swings open. Oh, sorry. I'm super sorry. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Well, Natsuki was. I was not! What took you so long anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. I kind of just lost track of time. Cat! 1 second, guys. Sorry. I hope this hasn't messed anything up. Get out of here. The cat hit the capture card. Cat! Calm down. That makes no sense, though. You wouldn't have heard... You've heard the bell ring at least. Not to mention, Monika. Isn't your last period study hall like every day? I mean, maybe you're one of those schools where they have alternating schedules, because I've heard of those where you have like 4 classes a day, but then you have like an AB, 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 so you actually take a total of 8 classes. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. I wasn't aware you played music as well. Oh, don't give me any more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet. That must require a lot of dedication, though. So, I'm still rather impressed. You should play something for us sometime. Well, that's... Well, I'm working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little better, I'll do that. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Go for it. I look forward to it. That is one thing that we never actually did in the game. We never got to hear Monika play piano. Is that so? Well, in that case, I won't let you down, Dameol. I didn't mean to pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I was hoping I could share it with you anyway. Yeah, she is definitely more fixated fixated on me than she was in the previous playthrough. Guess that's why I've been practicing it so much recently. I'm not sure if Monika was referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck to you. Thanks. So, I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. So if I remember correctly, last time when she didn't get here, I think I just had a scene with Yuri. Or did I? That wasn't when we went over the manga thing with Natsuki, because that was in her playthrough. And she was not to bring up anything the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki had already run off into the closet. Since your compliments put me in a good mood, I wonder if you'd like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club. I don't think I can say no to you after you gave that book to me. Interesting. Shouldn't Natsuki be the one I'm spending time with? Well, I guess I need to make sure my Natsuki isn't waiting for me. We finished yesterday, She's fine. She's reading over there, see? Don't think about her so much. Wow. They're being very, very, very aggressive about this. She's used to... Yuri! I wonder, because this almost seems like a break in Yuri's personality. Like, these are the lines she's required to say, but this is the first time I've seen that from this type of... Before, it was just, this text stood out, but it didn't seem out of character. This seems out of character. Come on, we're going over there. Interesting, I don't have a choice. Did I not get more of Natsuki than the last time? Because I thought I did. What's the story about, anyway? Well... The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, of this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And people trapped have this trait that turns them into a killing machine that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse. They're selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing... Holy shit, Yuri! Oh, that might be a bit of a spoiler. Anyway, I'm really into it. This does not surprise me at all. Natsuki! The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of... It's kind of dark, isn't it? You made it sound like it's going to be a nice story. So that dark turn came from no... Yeah, it's definitely different than the last story she tried to sell me. The last one had some dark moments, but it still sounded like it'd be an okay story. This is a type of book I would never want to read. Although that said, to be fair, if someone had described Doki Doki Literature Club to me, I probably wouldn't want to play it either. Because I remember I picked this because it was relatively short and people had recommended it. But when they first were like, oh yeah, it's this visual novel about, you know, people in high school, and I was like, yeah, I've played 1,000 of those. And the problem is, it's really hard to sell this game without going into spoiler territory, so maybe I should not be as quick to judge. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Dameol? No. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story is kind of challenging to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway. God damn, Yuri! Again, I don't know if you have an option of saying this line. I think that may be what the different font is trying to communicate. Then, suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. These scenes are so weird. Do you have to talk to Yuri here? I really felt like I got more Natsuki than Yuri in the last one. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When other things like books or writings fill my thought, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. What was that? My whole body's something. They deleted it. Awesome. I really... Little things like that just let you see that you're in a different reality. Sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. Yeah. Speaking of talking too much... I really don't think you need to worry, Yuri. It just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. Well, that is true. In fact, I was going to get started reading it, right? That was interesting. She turned red for just a second. I mean, you don't have to, but... Let me just get the book. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? It's so weird that I'm getting a Yuri scene here. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone else. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. I open the book and I start the prologue. So I understand what Yuri means about reading in company. See if I can feel our presence over... Yeah, I've had this scene before. Why am I getting a Yuri scene? I really don't understand. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. I'm so confused. Is Yuri the default one and you have to go heavy into Natsuki to get her scene? You really apologize a lot. That was like, I'm just bathing in the heat of your body or something. I could see it for just a second. I do? I don't really mean to. I mean... It's on my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold the book between the two of them. I suppose that works. I feel like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I want a Natsuki interaction here. Why don't I get one? Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page, Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're held even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting. So I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh. I think I got a little distracted for a second. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little longer. That's probably the least I can do. So I'm wondering where the change will happen, because there's definitely a change in the scene. Since you've been so patient with me. It's also interesting that this is the first Yuri scene, even though this is the second day. You no longer ask me if I'm ready to turn the page. So I just assumed she finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page and letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. This might be a silly thought, but main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. If that's what you were talking about. I thought you meant something else about her. Never mind. Interesting. I don't remember this expression before, and the something else bit. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. What, is she some sort of like sex fiend? Yuri, are you feeling alright? You've been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing's a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Okay, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Did something happen just now? I've got no idea. He was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say. I'm a guy. Ignorance kind of comes with it when it comes to girls. Are you worried about her? Not really. Just making sure you didn't do anything to her. Don't worry, I believe you. Yuri just does this sometimes. It's nothing alarming. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while. Is she off cutting herself? So I figured we just get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. Like a mental note of where I left off the book and set it back in my bag. Interesting, so we can't even... I wonder if that's why you have to have a Yuri scene there, because she has to leave the room at this point. But regardless, we're at 30 minutes. We will look at the poems next time and see if they've changed. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. I appreciate you being here.